Hello, hello. Here I am at 12 months. So yeah, it's been a full year since my second transplant. So I got the extra 1200 grafts to bring down the hairline, restore the temples a bit as well. I do get a lot of questions about like, did I ever consider going back to Elite Hair in Turkey? But I think for temple work, you really can't be getting that wrong. So technicians, which is what all these cheaper clinics in Turkey use, it's not the actual surgeon. I just don't think that probably they're capable of doing something as kind of fine as that, because they take it from the back, the bottom, like the nape hair. So yeah, temple work is very different. But yeah, here I am. I've had my hair cut today, looking really good actually. I really like it. My hair is growing to the length that I want it to and slicking back. My barber recommended this. This is not a sponsored video. If anyone from Layrite do want to sponsor me, let me know. But yeah, this is a pomade. So I want to slick it back, that kind of Jimmy Darmody look from Boardwalk Empire. And I feel like this, obviously Josh the barber blow dries it, which, he can do it so much better than I can. So when I try and style my hair myself, because I have tried a little bit with the Brill cream, and basically my hair, even now a little bit, it's kind of waved a little bit, hasn't it? So it doesn't really go completely back. I've got naturally wavy hair, I guess, but this hair on this side, this is kind of what, I think it was from the first transplant, like the direction of those hairs wasn't perfect. And I do think that it sticks up. Now, obviously with product, you can stick the rest of the hair up and it looks fine. But when I just wake up naturally, or have a shower or, towel dry my hair, don't use any product, this side sticks up more than the rest, and it kind of is a bit wavy now. It doesn't look bad really, but it does annoy me a little bit, because it sticks up. So that's the interesting thing. Like, I had the consultation with Dr. Muamba, obviously Dr. Couto in Spain, like and another doctor in Spain, and none of them mentioned about removing any of the follicles that had been implanted from the first transplant. So it's not like anyone thought they need to go. Obviously, the new hairs that Dr. Muamba has put in are in front of it, but I feel like even those ones are going up. So I don't know if that's what my hair was like, maybe because it had receded so much over the last, before my first transplant, it was a good 4 or 5 years where my hair had, receded to a point where, it wasn't the best at all. So yeah, maybe I'm just not remembering what my hair was like, but yeah, here I am now. 3 years in total, obviously, since, over 3 years since like my first transplant. And yeah, that first transplant, I really did think it was really good, and the difference was massive. This time, I wouldn't say the difference is as big, but then at the same time, obviously less grafts, of course it wasn't going to be, but yeah, I am happy. Like, this is the thing, obviously, I think it was the 8-month video or the 10-month video, one of those videos, I was a bit more critical of it. And there are some imperfections. Like, I do still think that it's a little bit see-through, and you've got to remember that different lights, you're going to look different. So here's a picture, and this is what I'm talking about. So in this picture here, I feel like it's very see-through. Now, when I've showed that to my girlfriend, she's like, oh yeah, but it doesn't look like that in real life. And that's the funny thing, like how it looks different in a picture to real life and stuff. But yeah, that's what I kind of think. But yeah, over the last few months, I've been less kind of nitpicky, I think, and I do think it looks good. And yeah, like looking now, it's night and day difference, really. Because one of the big things was when I went for that haircut with the YouTube channel Regal Gentleman, he styled my hair up. So this was obviously after I'd had a transplant in Turkey, but when he styled it up, I kind of just felt like it still looked like a really high hairline, like in a way still a bit of a receding hairline, so obviously even now it's still a big distance, but yeah, like I did think that I needed those grafts to bring it down. Obviously going to a top tier clinic like Dr. Muamba's in Brussels, you're going to get better angles, and single grafts have been placed right. So there are a couple of doubles that I do still see, so whether they are accidentally there from this second time, or whether they're there from the first time and they've just not been, blended in, or because it is a bit see-through in places. But yeah, today in particular, I'm looking at it thinking this looks really good. Josh, the barber, always tells me it looks good, and he watches the videos. Shout out Josh. So I know that he gets annoyed when I'm saying like it doesn't look good and stuff. Yeah, I mean this side in particular was the one I always used to hate and used to bother me a lot. But yeah, now I'm styling my hair up, you know, not hiding anything, hairline on show. And one of the funny things was, obviously, in the very beginning of this second surgery, I was quite concerned about how straight it was, you know, but now I kind of am thinking it looks really good, you know. Even there, like, it obviously does dip down a bit, but yeah, I think it really does look good. And there is that little tiny patch there that still didn't grow in. But it's one of those where over the last few months, I've been thinking about, like, should I get just another little surgery, like a really small, between 200 and 500 grafts? Would that be beneficial? Would it, you know, improve it? Now, obviously, I've kind of contradicted myself a little bit. You know, I've talked about like Matt Dominance. I mean, Matt Dominance, let's get this straight, right? He's a full-time YouTuber. He's earning money, proper money. He's probably getting these things for free. Now, I do get asked a lot how much I paid for this second surgery, and I did get a bit of a discount. So that's one thing I want to get onto. What I noticed on Dr. Mwamba's website was that they offer, I can't remember what it was actually, it was either 10% or even 15 or even 20, but they offer a discount if you're willing to send back your progress pictures. Now, obviously they're going to use them for promotional, you know, material on their website or whatever. So I just saw that and got in touch with them and inquired about it, and then said, I'm actually willing to film, because I mean, I was going to do it anyway. I'm going to film my progress, put it on YouTube. Obviously, I'm going to be honest and talk about the things I like and things I might not like, but it would be good for them. So I did get more than that as well. But I've still paid, you know, I've still paid a good few thousand euros, and that's why I have been critical, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, some people have been commented on one of the videos saying about how I'm obsessive or like, you know, need to just move on or whatever. But it's like, you know, you want it to be great, you know, you expect really good results, and actually I'm doing it for you guys, you know. You guys want to, a lot of you guys haven't had a surgery at all. Some of you have had a surgery somewhere else and just comparing or whatever. But actually, yeah, I think I'm doing what I've done on these videos, like I did with the videos from the first transplant in Turkey. I'm giving my honest opinion, being critical and trying to give as much information so you guys can then look at it and think, okay, yeah, that looks good to me. I'd book in with them. Dr. Mwamba's clinic, yeah, on the day I was looked after, you know, really good. I do think that their communication could be improved. Like since the thing, I think they only asked for the pictures once or twice, and then when I've emailed them questions, like even about the exact number and how many singles, doubles, triple grafts they managed to get and stuff, I never got an answer. So yeah, a bit frustrating with that, but obviously, you know, it is a good result. That's the main thing. So yeah, this is my 12-month result, and I have had 2 rounds of SMP, so scalp micropigmentation. I've been to Scalp UK, they're Manchester based, and it's an SMP artist called Sabina, and I have had 2 rounds. Now, the reason I've got my hair so short today is because I'm going back for the 3rd round tomorrow. So the first round lasted about 2 hours, second one was about an hour, and then the third one should be an hour as well. And I'm trying to show you, if you can see what the donor is looking like this short, and it definitely is an improvement on what it was before. So what I'm going to show you now is what my donor looked like after the first surgery when I got the skin fade the first time. I'm going to show you what the donor looks like the second time. So like a few months ago, after, you know, I've had the extra grafts removed from Dr. Mwamba, because actually I think it looks better with more grafts taken out by Dr. Mwamba, because he's able to homogenize it and make those patchy bits look, you know, less patchy. And then obviously now, this is what the donor area looks like, because SMP is kind of like a tattoo, but it's not as deep. It doesn't like go into your skin as much, but it does hurt. I'm not gonna lie, because obviously it's scar tissue. So that first week that I went, where it was 2 hours, it was really quite painful. Second week, I asked for like a, you know, like a squeeze toy thing. She didn't have one, like a stress ball, but she did give me something that she had that was there. So I was kind of squeezing that, but yeah, it just didn't hurt as much. Maybe I was a bit more used to it. But yeah, so why have I got the SMP? Firstly, because I do think that those scars were noticeable, like particularly the white dots. But yeah, there was a bit of like weirdly like a triangle shape that I noticed, which definitely looks better already. And Josh, again, the barber, has said that he thinks it looks really good, better than he thought even. But yeah, the third go should be able to see where she might have missed. I mean, I think I can see some here, like you kind of can see some white dots around here. So because the hair is very short now, should be able to fill those in and get those. So I'll give you what I'm going to do is do a proper SMP video. But yeah, I wanted to kind of show you the 12-month update and explain here as well that the SMP, I've kind of done that now to kind of stop me from getting another surgery where they're going to remove grafts, you know. This is kind of me saying, this is it. So I do think that my hair transplant journey is coming to an end. Obviously the hair loss journey doesn't come to an end because, you know, I'm getting older, it could still fall out. I do take finasteride. I've been taking that now for over 3 years. No real side effects. There was once or twice where I got achy balls, like randomly, which I didn't even put 2 and 2 together at first, but yeah, that is a side effect. But yeah, one of the big ones that puts a lot of guys off is not being able to get hard on, you know, and even losing, you know, your libido. And then I also take a lot of vitamins. So originally I started on vitamin D and biotin, which I think is vitamin A. Is that right? But when I was out with Dr. Mwamba, he mentioned multivitamin because actually vitamin B, C, all the vitamins have a different thing in them that's good. So I now take, obviously, the finasteride, a multivitamin. I still take the vitamin D as a top up because, I mean, I'm from the north of England, so having the extra is good. I also take iron. I've started taking that over the last 6 months or so. I think that's supposed to be good for a few different things, mental health and stuff. What else do I take? I actually take a cranberry tablet. That's nothing to do with hair, I don't think. That's kind of like, I had a little bladder issue, but I thought I'd carry on with it, you know, so that's something that's there. So yeah, basically I take about 6 or 7 tablets every night, which, you know, it becomes normal. It's not a big deal. So the finasteride is something that is supposed to be effective for men up until the kind of late 40s. Now I'm now 34. This is where I'm at. And I think that if I continue with finasteride and those other things, hopefully I'll be in a good place. I don't do anything else. I've never done the micro needling or anything like that. I have a basic shampoo. I am going to look into getting a better shampoo, and I might make a video on that because I have heard like caffeine shampoo and stuff is better for you. But yeah, so my hair restoration journey really has come to an end, I would say. Well, after I get the final round, I'll be able to show off the really final results. Hopefully I won't recede any more, but I do think I've still got a couple of thousand grafts left. And again, when I've mentioned in the past, like potentially using an extra 500 for the front or whatever, people have said save them. And yeah, that is the best thing because, you know, this section is transplant. Obviously the crown, I forget about the crown all the time. In the crown, I've had in total now about 1,400 grafts. I had an extra 100 put in, you know, from Dr. Mwamba. I mentioned about potentially going back to Dr. Mwamba for the 12-month kind of review, but I just can't be bothered going out there and stuff. And like I said, I've come to accept it over the last couple of months. So I am happy. I'm probably not as happy in terms of like, because when you have that first transplant and that's such a big difference, like this obviously has been a difference, like, and it's been an improvement, particularly with the donor, I would say. But obviously, like, you know, the singles and whatever. So yeah, my first transplant, I'd give it like a solid 9 in a way. This one, probably an 8, you know, but obviously overall, from what I was to this now, it's been a big journey, and I'm happy to share it with you guys because I do know that some people, you know, you want these things, you want to learn more about it. I'm just a normal guy, so do not take anything I say as medical advice. You know, make sure you do your research properly. I always say, if you're thinking of getting a transplant, wherever you live now, there's probably a clinic within 30 miles, right? If they do a free consultation, go to them. So see where you are on the Norwood scale and see how many grafts they calculate that you're going to need. That's the first starting point, I would say. You then contact a few different clinics. The best ones in the world are regarded as being in Spain, Belgium, from what I researched. I think there are some good ones in America. I personally was, you know, I'm in the UK, I was never going to go to America. Obviously Turkey from the UK, you know, the flight costs are actually quite a big cost really. So yeah, like overall, from where I was to this, the money I've spent, the time I've spent, has it been worth it? Of course it has. And hopefully you guys think it looks good as well. I do think that the beard, because if you remember, I never started out with a beard. I do think that has made me more handsome as well, you know, like more attractive. So yeah, this is where I'm at. Do let me know what you think. Hopefully this has been useful. I will do another video, like I said, on the SMP journey, and any more video suggestions, like I'll try some caffeine shampoo or something, let me know. Take it easy, guys.